And still with us to discuss this is Marc Schulman. Marc, Trump now threatening to arrest Mamdani. Can he just do that?
Okay, he can't just do that. That's a bad thing. Mamdani's a bad thing. Don't get me wrong. And I can talk on 3 different levels how bad he is. But Trump can't just arrest him. I guess he could do something to stop ICE agents from doing, what they're supposed to do. And therefore, that would be an interference in federal activity. And then maybe he could arrest him. So it's possible. I wouldn't put it beyond him. And I think it'd be a terrible thing if a president starts arresting mayors. That said, Mamdani is a very, very problematic figure for us here in Israel and for Jews in general, on multiple levels. On one level, of course, the symptom that someone with those views could be elected mayor of New York, and the fact that so many progressives support him says something about where we stand with the progressive community in the United States, with the young people, young Democrats in the United States. And this is very, very scary for us as Israelis, and should be scary for Jews generally. On the other level, I think the Democratic Party has a chance of, for the first time, actually losing the support of Jews. Years ago, I did a serious study to try to understand why was it that Jews looked like Protestants economically, were rich and everything else, but voted like they were poor Puerto Ricans, to use that example. They voted always for Democrats. It made no sense. And the reason was because they saw the Republican Party deep down as the party of the exclusionary, the ones who kept the Jews out. And so therefore, the Republicans were the anti-Semitic party, even if they didn't say anti-Semitic things. So the Jews voted for the Democrats. With people like Mamdani and others in the party at this point, it's getting the sense that who are the true anti-Semites is a good part of the Democratic Party. And therefore, we're going to see more and more Jews, without looking at the issues, just being repulsed by the Democrats and voting for Republicans. So I think there's so many different levels of problems here, both for the Democrats, for Israel, with the young people, and the general sense that someone with those views could become mayor of New York. I mean, as someone who once ran the Israel Day Parade in New York, together working closely with the mayor, et cetera, it's hard to even imagine such a thing.
All right, and we just have 1 minute left here before we have to move on. So basically, Mamdani, you're saying, is a symptom of something larger. What can be done to change this wave?
Well, it requires an awful lot of effort. First, look, one of the problems Israel has traditionally forever, but now more than ever, is no attempt at outreach, no attempt at what we call hasbara, no attempt. It's not just talking good things. It's also knowing what you're doing and making sure those things look in a certain way. It requires a multifaceted effort that we're incapable of doing, I'm afraid. That's what scares me, is our inability to do that. And certainly as long as the war goes on and the images continue from Gaza, it's only going to get worse. So after the war is over, we need to have a 10-year plan to see what we can do to re-engage, show who we really are, and change that image. But if we don't do it, we're going to be in big trouble in the United States. Maybe not next year, maybe not the year after, but 10 years from now.
All right, still a long way to go.
Scary.
All right.
Well,
Marc
yes,
Schulman,
but those years passed way too fast, as we know.
All right, Marc Schulman, thank you very much for joining us this evening.
My pleasure.